Well, hello everyone and welcome. My name is John Burns. I'd like to welcome you to this afternoon's webinar presentation of your Sisel Wave 4 business system. This presentation was designed, but I did run it by Tandy, and it was Tandy reviewed, edited, and approved. So we're all on the same page here. And it's always comforting to know that I've got Rob and Tandy. They have my back. Rob's got my back on the technical side, and Tandy's making sure I don't screw up being a submarine sailor. But anyway, as we go through the presentation, I think you'll enjoy it. I think it'll be more clear to you. And how is it that you use your system to build your business on a daily basis? And we're going to go ahead. Why use the Sisel Wave 4 system? Well, the Sisel Wave 4 video marketing platform provides a simple way for you to share and expose others to the Sisel story. It provides an automatic follow-up system, which is so important but challenging for most in today's busy world. This system makes it easier for us to build a successful, global, duplicatable, and profitable home business on a part-time basis. Or you can learn it all and teach everything yourself. That's a Tandyism, okay, if you will. It takes 3 legs to make a stool, and we have 3 parts of the overall program. I want you to realize that Sisel Wave 4 just isn't a video platform, but it's a methodology. It's a strategy, and we combine all 3 parts. The first part, and really without the first part, the rest of it's all superficial and fluff. The most important part of the stool, in my opinion, is the Maurer mission, Sisel International, and its whole purpose is to educate, inform, and empower people to take control of their health, and also, should they choose, improve their wealth, okay? The Wave 4 contact management system, what you're looking at right now, is simply a tool for you to share, expose, and sort others through Sisel, to share Sisel with them, expose them to Sisel, and to sort through those people to see who's really serious about their health and who's really serious about their wealth. We also use Sisel Wave 4 Facebook, our team page on Facebook, and it's a very important component. You know, most people don't realize just how important Facebook is because, we have so many Sisel pages on the Facebook platform. But Sisel Wave 4 is actually integrated into your recruiting effort. We use Sisel Wave 4's team page to welcome new guests, welcome new distributors, to promote events online, events like the daily calls that Dan and Rob do every day, other events like the event you're attending this afternoon, and also we promote offline events like the event that was recently held in Pennsylvania. And then we also use it to recognize people like my good friend Patty Traeger up in Virginia or Charlene Phillips out in Arizona. Because, while we're growing, it's like a 2-edged sword. The beautiful thing about being in Sisel right now is it's like, imagine you are with Bill Gates when he's still building the first computer in his garage, or Ray Kroc when he just brought the McDonald's franchise or created the franchise and bought the first McDonald's restaurant from the McDonald's brothers. The beautiful thing about being with Sisel right now is the timing is absolutely incredible to make it just an enormous amount of money. I mean, the potential is so on the upside. The challenge is you're here at the beginning. And because you're at the beginning, for example, I mentioned Patty in Virginia up in Tidewater, and I mentioned Charlene out in Arizona. We're actually, as a team, and just in our small team, we're in 14 different states and 3 countries. But you know what? Sisel's offline meeting system is not. Now, it will be one day. It'll be in every state in the union. It'll be in every province in Canada and Mexico. But you know what? I'm glad we're at where we're at right now. But we use the Facebook page to say, hey, great job, Charlene, for bringing on a new preferred customer. Hey, great job, Patty. Hey, great job, Sue. And you know what? If you want someone recognized on the team page, all you got to do is give me a call or shoot me a message on Facebook, and we will make that happen because that's important. You know, people that get started in network marketing, especially people that have never done it before, you know, they need that little pat on the back. They need that little pat on the head because everybody, including myself, I love it when I get encouragement from someone, okay? Everybody likes a attaboy now and then, okay, because they don't get too many of them on their JOB, and that's important. So we use it to welcome new people and guests, and it's all part of the system, as you'll see here in a moment. You know, building your Sisel business with the Wave 4 system, it's really a process. It's not an event. And, you know, we learn about approaching people every day or every Monday with Dan, as Dan teaches us to get our story down cold and delivered hot, okay? That is essential. You have to have your own little story, and it doesn't need to be more than 2 minutes long. You know, my story is, hey, in January, I was living at home, surviving on a limited VA pension, got a phone call from Dan Kinnison, Ray Hutchinson, and the next day Ray introduced me to Laura, and I started looking closer at Sisel. I actually said no to Sisel 4 times because I didn't understand it. That's why I created this system, to make sure that what happened to me doesn't happen to someone else. A way to effectively communicate Sisel of what it is and what it is not, okay? And you'll be able to see that as we go through the presentation. And then we simply invite them to the video platform where they're introduced to Sisel. You know, you don't have to learn it all. All you have to do is get them to watch the video. Now, if they're looking, they're looking. And if they're not, they're not. You know, you really can't say the wrong thing to the right person, and you can't say the right thing to the wrong person. So it really does boil down to a numbers game. But you have unlimited chips. There are 300 million people in North America alone, and that's not even counting Mexico, okay? There are tons of people, and the beautiful thing is, with the Internet, the world is your oyster, okay? And then, next Thursday, we're going to be doing a virtual in-home meeting where we're actually going to show the plan. We're going to present the business just like I would present it, or even Tandy would present it, pretty close, in an in-home setting. We're going to talk about the things that we think is important. You know, when I say show the plan, some people think I'm talking about showing the comp plan. No, that's not it. That's part of it, but that's not all of it, okay? Fabian does an exceptional job. And it's almost, I think it's just over an hour, when he explains the total, complete dynamics of our comp plan. And if you've been in network marketing before, you'll pretty much understand all of it. When I first saw the comp plan, I didn't understand it because I had, for 20 years, a binary brain disorder, okay? I came from a binary background. I didn't understand it. I ended up showing the video, sending the video that Fabian does down to Tandy, and I said, hey, Tandy, check this out and tell me if I'm, tell me if I'm onto something here, okay? And Tandy looked at it over 2 to 3 days, and he called me back. He said, it's the best dang thing I've seen in 20 years, okay? And for 6 months, as I was sharing this with people, I would just say, well, here's the video, and Tandy says it's the best dang thing he's seen in 20 years. And that's how I presented the plan. But just by showing we're going to have a show the plan video, it really simplifies it. It simplifies it for people that have binary brain disorder, and it also simplifies it to the person who's never been involved in network marketing before, and you'll see that on Thursday. And then as far as follow-up campaign is concerned, there are a lot of generic systems out there. The beautiful thing about our program is that it's been completely customized to Sisel. When they get emails featuring real successful people in Sisel International. And then they're introduced to new distributors who just got involved recently in the business, who are very excited about the product, and they get to see their picture. They see their bio, their description, their story, okay, how they tell their story. And then there's a link underneath their picture where it says, click here, where they're actually able to hear that person in their own words. Why Sisel for them? And we'll talk about that in a moment. And then the rest of it is the three-way call. We'll get into that in the detail. But the bottom line is you got to pick up the phone. It really does start with you picking up the phone. You have to pick up the phone when you call someone and say, hey, I found something completely incredible. I'd like to send you an email that tells you just a little bit more about it. Is that okay? And that's what you do with your names list. Okay, you just don't blanket it out there. You don't spam people. That's not what we're about. We're all about building relationships. The power of this system is you don't have to learn it all. All you have to do is share it. But you first have to pick up the phone and get their permission to share it with them. And then it's all about answering questions with the initial three-way call, and POA stands for Plan of Action. Okay, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But the three-way call, you need to know how to do a three-way call, and we'll be talking about that. Then, of course, we got the call to action, and then, guess again, we got another three-way call. We got an initial three-way call and a follow-up three-way call. Why? Because, you know, in the beginning, it's just you, and it's okay to ask for help. You know, back in the Navy, we used to call it the buddy system. You never left your buddy on the beach. You always made sure that the guy or gal you went on the beach with came back to the ship with you. You counted on them, and they counted on you. So we're using the buddy system here as well. And then you want to make sure that you get them started properly, either as a preferred customer or as a distributor with the starter kit, and make sure they're qualified for commissions. Okay, and then you want to promote. You always want to promote the next call, the next webinar, or the next offline event, okay? If you promote, your team will promote, and we'll get into that in a minute. But that's really where the big money is. It's in promoting, okay? That's where the big money is, and we'll get into that in a minute. You know, think about it. When you were first introduced to Sisel, and someone was sharing it with you, I'm sure that many of them used a lot of these techniques. Maybe not all of them. They may not have used the system. But I know they used the phone, and they probably used the three-way call. And when we first come into this business, we're coming in on faith. We have faith in the person that's sharing it with us. But then when we get started and we're signing up and we're getting our kit and we're getting our first product order so we're qualified to receive commissions, then we get into the hope stage. And we're thinking, man, I really hope this works. And then the next thing we get into is belief. And we build belief by attending the calls, attending the webinars, and most importantly, attending offline events. Whether they be in-home meetings or a regional webinar, a regional seminar like they just held in Pennsylvania, or the upcoming international convention that's going to be held on April the 15th to 17th in Salt Lake City. Actually, I believe it's in Provo, but it's close to Salt Lake. You'll fly into Salt Lake. But let me tell you, that's where the belief is built. So this business is built on faith, hope, and belief. But you know when it really gets solid is when you know it works. And that's what we're going to talk about today. When do you know it works? And when does your team know it works? Okay? Now, these are the Wave 4 business cards, and these are just, this is my card. This is the example that I use. This is my card I just received. And I use a business card, and you know what? I learned this 30 years ago, and it's true on a date, it's true on a job interview, and it's true when you're talking to someone about Sisel initially. You never get a second shot at a first impression. So when you're looking at someone dead in the eye, they need to know that you totally believe in everything you say. But you know what? The beautiful thing about this system is it's not all on you. You need to look it in the eye with sincerity, tell them your story, keep it to 2 minutes or less, and then hand them a business card. I mean, how could you possibly be in business without a business card? Now, I'm not saying you have to use this card, but I recommend it because it's a beautiful card at a beautiful price, and we'll get into that in a little bit, okay? There's a phone number on this card. You'll see is a way for home business right for you. The phone number is 916-233-3990. That number again is 916-233-3990. Now, you'll see the line where it says PIN with a line and a pound sign. And we have pre-recorded calls that we've taken from the Daily Calls with Dan, and we have different testimonials within the system. If you want to use Laura, you can use Laura. If you want to use Ray, you can use Ray. One gentleman that I use on a regular basis because he really does an incredible job, in all fairness. I mean, he just nails it. And that's my good friend, Mr. Tandy Brown, okay? His code number is 56511#. That number again is 56511#. When you call that number, it's going to say, please enter your call number. You're going to put in 56511#. Then it's going to say, please enter your PIN number. You're going to put in 56511#. And for the next 4 minutes, Tandy shares why he decided to come on board with Sisel International. He's got 30 years experience in this business. He's an expert. He has a background as a financial planner, so he knows how to crunch the numbers. He knows exactly what he's looking for. And it wasn't the great, all-powerful John T. Burns, and that's a joke. That's a tongue-in-cheek joke there. But it was Sisel and the power of the plan and the power of the opportunity and everything that Sisel brings to the table that got his attention. If you're going to use this system, I highly recommend that you get a very simple domain name. And I use Wave 4 in the domain name. Now, why do I use Wave 4 and not Sisel? Well, you know, I said no to Sisel 4 times. And when I did that, in my mind, I put Sisel connected to the word no. And you know what? If it was anybody else than Dan Kinnison, Ray Hutchinson, and Laura Pacini, I probably would have said no the 5th time. Because I had a preconceived notion of what Sisel was. And it took the 3 of them and their combined experience to explain to me why Sisel is not what I thought it was. And as I did my investigation over the next week, I realized they were absolutely right. In fact, I realized they were the world's first Wave 4 company, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But why do I use a domain name? And I've seen some beautiful domain names. Why do I use a domain name? Because I don't want to send them to johntburns.sevenfiguresecrets.com. I want to send them to wave4now.com. I've seen a beautiful domain name like wave4.me. That's Mary Ann's. It's absolutely short, sweet, and beautiful. I saw a gentleman who's moving to Missouri. He selected showmewave4.com because Missouri's a show me state. I lead with Wave 4 because it's also a curiosity approach. Because when someone prospects me about something else, I go, hey, that's a good deal. They got great products or good things. You're going to make a little bit of money of them because they're Wave 3. I just wanted to make more, so I went with Wave 4. But listen, I got to go. Bye. Believe me, they'll call you back. You're going to want a domain name for your business cards, Facebook chats, and, you know, even emails, okay? So you're going to want something short, sweet, and simple and to the point, and I recommend you use Wave 4 in your domain name, okay? The business cards are pretty much, there's a whole page of them. They're available. There's all kind of options. You can go to the Files tab on the Sisel Wave 4 team page, and you can look at all of them and select which cards you want to use and how you want to lead. Remember, when selecting your cards, that when this system was designed, it was designed as a business approach. Because, you know, we've been leading with the products for over 4 years now, and we have an outstanding product line, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. But, you know, not only are our products toxin-free, but they're actually great products. I mean, I know there's no toxins in the coffee, but I absolutely love it because it's great coffee. It's great shampoo. They are great products, okay? All right. There are the business cards that I was talking about, and that's what you'll find on the Wave 4 page under the Files tab. You're going to need to make your list. Use memory joggers, okay? And take your list and go to the Add a Contact button on your contact screen in your page, and I'll do a tutorial. In fact, there's a tutorial on the Sizzle Wave 4 team page right now. You can go through that, and if you have any questions on that, you can hit me up in the Q&A session that's going down in about 40 minutes. Ask people for their business cards. Check out bulletin boards. Everybody's advertising their business on a bulletin board. You go to a restaurant, you'll see cards hang up. Pick up a couple of them. Hand out your cards. Ask for referrals. Hey, who do you know that's looking to make an extra $1,000 a month part-time? Do you know anybody that's looking to do that? Okay, not too many people go. Then they'll say, well, what's it all about? Then it's an opportunity for you to hand them your card, okay? And you can even hand your uplines card, and we'll talk about that on the Q&A session, okay? When someone prospects you, hey, turn it around and prospect them. I'll give them 5 minutes if they'll give me 5. So your video presentation starts off with your capture page, and we have several different capture pages. These are just 3. One has a Diane Sawyer. That email is also, or that video is also included in the Day 1 Sizzle Leads email that goes out. We have something called Rise of Wave 4. That's on the capture page, and the Wounded Warrior Project. And then we have several different options for your featured movie. I'm currently using the first one, which I bought. It came from Australia. I like it a lot. If you want to see it in its entirety, you can either go to the Sizzle Wave 14 page or go to wave4now.com. Put your information in there, and then watch the feature movie. The About Me page features our Wave 4 business under the Our Industry tab by Mr. Dominic Pacini. We also have currently Tom and Tom's Invitation on the About Me page. Your redirect links, I recommend that everybody uses sizzlestars.com, the media library that Liana had assembled. She did a great job. All the videos are current or fairly recent, and they did a good job. When you see someone going to your Learn More tab 10 times, you can bet your bottom dollar they're probably watching one of those videos. And then I recommend you send them to the Media Center on the Getting Started page. That's just where I have them going, because they can simply go onto the Get Started link right from there. We have 6 folders, and I'm going to talk about the first 3 because this is part of the recruiting process. We have a Sizzle Leads, Sizzle Prospects, and Sizzle Hot Prospects. And the call to action on the Sizzle Leads email when they get that is, hey, revisit my website. Revisit my website. And they get like 18 messages saying, go back to my website. Why? Because we want them watching the movies and developing interest. This also helps us determine who's really looking and who really isn't. Who's just a tire kicker? If they drum up 100 points and complete a full movie, they're probably interested. And I promise you, they watch a full movie, even if they don't break 100. Let's say they only do 90 points. But if they watch a full movie, I'm going to pick up the phone and call them and book the 3-way call. Once I do that, I put them in the Sizzle Prospects folder. And the call to action on that email is, hey, add me as a friend on Facebook. And it actually redirects them to your About Me page, where we currently have Tom's invitation video, but we're going to have the show to plan video as an option for you there too. So they've watched a couple of videos, now they're going to your page to add you as a friend on Facebook, and they get a chance to see the plan. It's kind of like you and I are doing a 2-on-1 together, all right? But in a way where we present the business in a very simple, understandable way. And that's the only way I know how to share it, is simple and understandable. And if I can understand it, anybody can understand it. And then, once they talk to my senior business partner, my expert, then I put them into the Sizzle Hot Prospects campaign, and that gives them more detailed information, like Fabian Loso with the compensation plan, other information, other testimonials of a more advanced nature, because we know now they're really serious. Okay, these are really where the silver bullets are at. Okay, and then of course we got a Sizzle Preferred Customer, welcome aboard, and not right now. And when we get to the point of decision, if they say, well, no, the timing's not right, I just put them in the not right now folder right here, number 6. And for every 10 days for a full year, they're going to get an email. In fact, I asked them, I said, well, look, I know the timing's not right now for you, but would it be okay if I just sent you an email every 10 days just to let you know what's going on with Sisel? Oh, yeah, sure, that'd be okay. Okay, great, because I want to keep you in the loop. Yeah, sure, keep me in the loop. Great. So then I put them in the not right now folder, and every 10 days for a full year, they're going to get an email, okay? And it's a 10-day drip, and it's up for a full year. Now, when I put them in the prospects folder, they get 2 emails day 1 and day 2. It's like a snapshot on a submarine, 2 torpedoes. Torpedo number 1 is Diane Papa. And she's so excited about Sisel, and she's so excited about Tom. In fact, you can hear her excitement. When you hear click me, you feel like she's going to come out of your computer screen. She's so frippin' excited, okay? She's excited about Tom, Sisel, the opportunity, and she's excited about the product. And that definitely makes an impression. And that's the first message you want them to hear. The second message, which is the very next day in the Sisel Prospects folder, is Mr. Tandy Brown. And again, why Tandy said yes to Sisel? Because let's say they didn't get a business card. Let's say you called them up and said, can I send you some information or email? They said, yes. This will be their first exposure to Tandy, and they're going to listen to what Tandy has to say. And you know what? If they're really looking, and they're done with Diane, and they're done with Tandy, if they don't get in, there's something, they need brain vitality. That's the only way I can put it, okay? Power the phone. You need to pick up the phone and call them, and you need to book the 3-way, okay? And you want to give them a choice of what you want or what they want, all right? For example, I'd say, well, Richard, would Tuesday or Thursday work better for you? And Richard might say, Thursday. I'll go, great. Richard, afternoon or evening? Evening, great. 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock? 8 o'clock, great. Okay? And you know what? You really have to pick up the phone and call them. I mean, it ain't no big deal. Okay? Let me ask you a question, just for the guys on the phone. When you asked that first girl to go out on a date to a movie with you, and she said no, or if any girl ever said no to you, did you quit asking girls to go to the movie? No. Okay? And, you know, it's the same thing. It's like, you know, when a lady comes by in a restaurant and she wants to give you more coffee, the waitress or the waiter wants to give you more coffee and you say no, he doesn't get all bummed out about it. He doesn't get all bent out of shape about it. He just didn't want any coffee. And you know what? They're not saying no to you. They're saying no to themselves. Or they're saying, you know, I don't know. And if they say, no, not right now, just say, great, can I call you 6 months later? And if they say, yeah, you can call me 6 months, then I just put them in a 6 month later folder, okay? But you know what? You know why most people really don't make it? Is because 75% of people don't call the people that are looking at their business. They just don't pick up the phone and call. Why do you think these leads companies are still in business? Because they know out of 4 people that buy their list, 3 out of the 4 people are not going to call that list. That's how they can sell that list over and over again, okay? You want to know your experts. You want to have their phone number in your phone, okay? And you want to know how to do the 3-way. Now, I mean that in two different ways. One, you need to know how to do a 3-way call in your telephone. And I'm the worst guy to ask. If you got a phone from Sprint and you don't know how to do the 3-way call, you need to go down to the Sprint store and get that kid to show you how to do it. Because I'm not going to be able to figure it out because I just know how to work my iPhone, okay? I'm like the last guy that wants to get a new TV because he doesn't want to learn a new remote control, okay? And then you want to know the protocol on how to do the phone call. What do I mean by the protocol? I mean this. Let's say I'm doing a 3-way between Rob Cohan, Rob's my prospect, and Tandy is my expert. And I'm going to say, Tandy, this is Mr. Rob Cohan. Rob's got a background in computers and technology. He's been very successful in that field. He's looking to solidify and secure his retirement and maybe meet some other financial goals and get some more time back. Rob, this is Mr. Tandy Brown. He's a good friend of mine. He's a financial planner. He's got 30 years worth of experience. He's been in this industry for over 20 years, and this opportunity's met all his criteria. I'd like to introduce you to him. Tandy, this is Rob. Rob, this is Tandy. And I'll be quiet, and I just take notes. I break out my pen, I break out my notepad, and I listen to the questions that Rob asked Tandy, and I listen to Tandy's answers, okay? That's where you learn to take notes. Don't put the phone down and go watch the ball game. You take notes. Why? Because someday, guess what? You'll be the expert. This is where you really learn the business, right here, okay? This is really what the business is all about, okay? Making connections, getting your people connected to the people on your team that know what they're doing, okay? Now, when you do your first, I say the first three-way call or the first call or whatever, you know, when you're dealing with questions, and they'll say, and I'll use a live example. I had a young man, second lieutenant, United States Army. It's now 1:31, will be done by John 40. He said to me, John T., man, the toothpaste is $9. And you know what I said? Hey, you know, Cameron, I know exactly how you feel because I felt the same way. But guess what I found out? Hey, go into your bathroom and open up your cabinet and look at your tube of toothpaste. Is there a warning label on the back of that tube? Yeah. What does it say, Cameron? It says call poison control if you swallow it. Does it say think about it, Cameron? No, it doesn't say think about it. It says call. Let me ask you a question, Cameron. Did you ever swallow toothpaste in your life before? Yeah. Do you think your little baby girl is going to swallow some of that toothpaste? Yeah. There you go. To me, it's worth $9 to keep your little girl safe. How about you? You know? And then if they hit me with their question, and let's say they go, well, you know, do they have whatever? People are always asking me, do they got this kind of caffeine in the coffee? Do they have this kind of caffeine in the tea? Do they have this ingredient? Do they have that? And let's say they hit me with 3 or 4 questions, and I'll say something, you know, those are great questions, and to be honest with you, I really don't know the answers, but if I find out the answers to those questions, is there any other reason, if those answers are satisfactory to you, are there any other reasons why you wouldn't want to get started, if I will you? And that's really a combination of what you're looking at on the slide, because I just said, if I will you. Besides your questions on A, B, and C, is there any other reason or anything else we need to address before we get started? And I also threw in, hey, that's a great question, okay? And I also wrap it up. If they ask me a bunch of technical details about the products, about the ingredients in the products, I say, well, you know, I'll get the answer to those questions ASAP. I know we'll be able to address that concern because I have complete faith in Sisel. And you know what? I really do have complete faith in Sisel because I know for a fact that if we need it, Tom's made it. And if he hasn't made it, it's on a list to be made. And if we don't need it, he won't make it. Okay? I know that for a fact. I got complete faith. Call to action, okay? At the end of the call, you know, Tandy, this is beautiful. Tandy uses this all the time. May I make a suggestion? Let's secure your position on our team. Let you experience some of our incredible products and start working on achieving that dream vacation you were talking about or building that college fund for your granddaughter or your daughter, okay? Whatever their why is, we need to get them a position on the team, get them to experience some products, and start working on their why. Okay, getting started, I'll begin with the end in mind. The kit's $44.95. We give them a free bottle of Encompass 360. So in effect, they're in the business for $4.95. I'm going to pick up the pace a little bit. So this is our compensation package. You know, we pay daily and we pay monthly. We got awesome perks like leadership bonuses, global bonus pools, car bonuses up to $1,500. We got a part-time option and a full-time option. And this is very important. 60% guaranteed payout. For part-timers, Part-timers can earn commissions up to 4 levels deep with no sponsorship, group volume, or leg requirements. And we also offer full dynamic compression. So what does that mean? Well, I'm going to give you a couple examples here, okay? Now, we're going to zone in on what I call the part-time zone, okay? Now, if you'll see, these 2 boxes just appeared, and they start at the silver level. This is the part-time zone, 100 points to be a silver. If you look on the chart on your right, you'll see you got to do 100 points to be a silver. And this opens up this yellow box on the direct commission or monthly pay plan. And you'll see and note that you'll get overrides on 4 levels of people coming in on the daily fast start bonuses. Now, this is where we start people, and this is going to be our focus, okay? I said I'd be done in 4 minutes, but I promise you our absolute maximum pet step on this webinar is time 45. But it's important to share this part because this is really what we were really excited to share with you. I'm going to show you a 2x2. Now, before I go any further, I'm going to tell you that Laura Pacini from day one has told me, John, if you want to max out this comp plan, you need to do 200 a month. You need to have 5 platinum legs. If you want to max out the comp plan, you got to do 200 a month and 5 platinum legs. But you know what? When you're first getting started, you don't need to worry about maximizing the comp plan because it's just you, okay? You're just getting started, all right? So we wanted to show you the power of this plan because it is so powerful that, yeah, everybody talks about getting 5, but just what happens when you get 2? And you teach those 2 to get 2, so forth and so on. So you get 2, they get 2, they get 2, they get 2. When you add them all up, that's 30 people on the team. You're doing 100 points. Why? Because you want to be a silver. At the end of the month, you've got 2x2x2x2 doing that. You got 3,000 points being built up in your organization. You're making a total of $280, okay, in the monthly commission part of the plan, not to mention the money you made on the fast start. I'm just talking about monthly here. You already racked up several $100s in fast start commissions, but just take a look at this, okay, $280. Plus, you got a preferred customer that's doing 100. And you're going to make 20% of that preferred customer. And that's month 2, because in the first month, you're going to make 35, okay? So let's just say you're in your second month with this customer. 220 is $300. Hey, you know what? We're not lighting the world on fire. But guess what we just did? We did something that 96% of people in network marketing do not do. We just covered our auto purchase. Do you know that 96 people out of 100 people in network marketing never do that? They never do that, especially if they're in a binary. Heck, we don't even have a binary plan. We just gave an example where if you build it like a binary plan, you're matching your ownership. Excuse me, I'm getting excited. You're doing 2x2 and you're covering your ownership. They're doing 2x2 and they're still broke, okay? And if everybody had a preferred customer on top of you, if you duplicated that, where everyone just had one preferred customer doing 100 points, you're now making $500 a month on a 2x2. And that's incredible. Now let me ask you a question. For a part-timer, if you have people in your organization making $500 a month, they got their auto ship payment covered and they're making their car payment. For the professionals on the call, do you really think they're going anywhere? They're not. But you know what? The plan says 0 to 3 legs, and that's what I'm really excited about. Because I built it in 3. Okay, I got 2 good teams going right now, and I'm working on my 3rd. Okay? And here's what happened. 3 by 3 by 3 by 3, down 4 levels, that's 120 plus you, that's a total of 121. But it's 120 people on your team, everybody's doing 100, that's $12,000 in volume. Just on your overrides, just from your auto ships, you're making $1,164. $1,000 a month. 3 by 3 by 3 by 3. $1,000 a month. And I'm not even talking about the power of Sisel Live yet, okay? This is just in the standard networking component of the plan. You're making $1,164. That's an auto ship payment, and that's, for most people, that's 3/4 of a mortgage payment, okay? That's pretty powerful. In fact, they could pay their mortgage payment with it, and then instead of paying their mortgage payment, their auto ship is like no big deal, okay? And guess what? If they each had a customer, that's almost $2,000 a month. If they just had one customer apiece doing 100 points, just one customer. Now, I realize we're showing minimum numbers here, but we're just showing you the power of this incredible plan. And you know what? The reason why I show it in threes is because, A, Sandy said just get 3 people. And then Fabian kind of backed it up when he was talking about the 50% rule, because he showed us 3 legs all doing thousands of dollars worth of volume. You know, think about it. If you can build 3 solid legs, getting you to 6 figures, the last 2 is a joke. But the most importantly, I sponsored 7 people in this organization. I have 2 good legs. I got 3 people that got picked up by a UFO because I've never seen them before. I got one guy who's what I call a sometime Charlie. He gets excited about Sisel sometime. And then I got another person who was a complete no-show. They just never showed up. But you know what? Instead of putting them on my front line, I really wish I would have put them underneath Candy and Diane. Because if I did, maybe they'd still be here. Maybe not, but maybe they would. You never know. You know, there's an old axiom, and an axiom is something that is accepted as truth, but requires no scientific proof. It's an axiom in network marketing that profitability is always in with. And I believe that to be true. But it's also an axiom in network marketing that the deeper your team is, the more secure it is. What the beautiful thing about our plan and the way all 6 pay centers pay out is we're building width and depth at the same time. I'm going to say that one more time for you. With Sisel's Wave 4 comp plan, we build width and depth at the same time. If you want to know how that is, I'll see you at the Q&A session. And this is real simple. These are all the products I use every month. Now, sometimes I swap out. One month I'll get the Brain Vitality. The next month I'll get the Essentials Eternity. But I'm taking pretty much all of these products from what I can afford. And I'm doing $300. So 100 points is like a joke. But 100 plus 100, that's what we're showing here. And it's real simple. You know what? I learned in the submarine service, if you can draw it, you know it. So when you do a napkin presentation, it's real simple. You draw a circle. You put 100 points in there. You draw a box. You put 100 points in there. You say, you know, eventually I'm going to find customers, or you'll find customers who don't want to do it. You put them in your preferred customer box. They do 100 points. And you just teach 3 people to do that, and they duplicate it, so forth and so forth. That's how you draw it, 3 by 3. 3 by 3, you're making $1,000 to $2,000. And then, you know what? Let's say I'm wrong. Let's say you just get the $500 or $600 a month. Part-time, that's big money. Part-time, that's big money. And then at this point, now we're ready to go 5 wide. And now we're ready to max out the comp plan because we got something built. We got 3 legs rolling right here. We got 3 legs rolling right here, and we're ready to open up the other 2. Okay? That's what we're talking about, being focused. You know, I don't know if anybody else did this as a kid, but I remember as a kid, when I saw this on TV, I couldn't believe it. Well, I got a magnifying glass, and I used to go outside with a little piece of paper. I used to take a magnifying glass, and I used to magnify the power of the sun into a laser beam and burn holes in that paper. And I thought that was so cool. If you could focus light, if you can focus your effort, you can really drive depth and really set your team on fire. So, like the magnifying glass, focus in, build 3 teams, drive it down, and then worry about maxing out the comp plan, doing 200, being 5 low wide and 5 platinum legs. And then you're going to max out the fast start daily pay as well, okay? And it's very important that we do this because this is the bottom line, and we're about to come in for a landing. This business is built on faith, hope, and belief, and knowledge. You know, we talked about faith, hope, and belief, but when do people know this business works? These people know this business works when the money going in their e-wallet exceeds the money coming out of their personal checking account. That's when they know it works. For the first 90 days, you got to remember, people are like squirrels. You got them for about 90 days. You got 90 days to get some money in their e-wallet. Or they're going to look at the next shiny object. I always say, why do people get into network marketing? To make money. Why do they get out? They ain't making any. And, you know, we've already proved in our example that it's not the structure, it's the algorithm. It's our comp plan. Our comp plan isn't designed 2x2, but I already showed you what happens if you build it that way. But it's not the structure. It's the computer program and the commitment of the company. And our commitment of Sisel here is to pay out 60%. As far as Sisel Live is concerned, Roy Puccini says, hey, do what works for you. So you can do it Sisel Way 4-way, or you can do it the Sisel Live way. Hey, you know what? I want to do both. I'm going to learn how to do both. I'm going to be a party animal, and I encourage you to do the same thing. Always promote the next weight loss webinar, the next 6-step call, the next team call, the next local event if you can make it. Go to the next regional event. And if there's any way possible, whatever it takes, buddy up, split the room with 2 friends, whatever you got to do, be at the international convention, because I promise you that convention is going to be history in the making. I've been through this before. I've lived this before, and I'm promising you that if you go, you will not be disappointed. You can build this business part-time. You can build it full-time, and you can build it big-time, but you just can't build it sometime. Consistency is definitely the key, okay? Here's a list of things, and you can find this list on the Sisel Way 14 page. I'm going to bring them all up, and I'm going to stop. I'm pretty much going to wrap it up here. I want to thank you for plugging in to the call. If you want this list, just ask me where to find it. I'll show you where to find it on the Q&A session. I want to thank you for participating in today's webinar. I hope you found something here that can help you. I look forward to the Q&A session. Take care. God bless. See you on the call in about 13 minutes. Take care. Bye-bye now. This call is concluded.